Eric here. Today, I'm going to be reviewing Into the Badlands seasons 1 through 3. I'd put up a picture here. I don't know how they do that, but I am technologically inept. So you're going to get a picture of it on my phone. Into the Badlands. I was not part of it. I did not watch it when it came on AMC. The only reason I know about it is I just happened to see it on Netflix just a couple weeks ago or a week ago, whatever, and decided to look it up and see, I had a decent review or a decent rating because I do kind of go off of the ratings. And whatever, watched the first episode and was hooked, hooked. Like, I mean, reeled me in the whole way, like all the way up, all the way to the end. It was everything that I love action. Definitely prefer like action adventure, adventure science fiction, fantasy. I love all that stuff. I love a good action. Like John Wick or something like that. But I like a good action with like plot. So this had that, in my opinion. The political intrigue is another thing. It, when politics are involved, I'm not about the real world politics, but when like fantastical politics are involved between tribes or kingdoms, like man, man, that stuff is good. And this had that. I mean, it was kind of like I can't remember what the genres that were involved in this post-apocalyptic, um, a little bit of I was gonna say Wu Tang, like Chinese, like martial arts, kind of like Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, like those type of fantastical martial arts, like they jump incredible heights, and then the, I mean, if you're not a fan of blood, don't watch this because the blood is, I mean, I don't know how many jars of ketchup they must have used or fake blood, but there was so much. I mean, so much. It was like a Kill Bill, like Quentin Tarantino levels of blood. Like someone's got two swords and they go, I mean, just making mincemeat. I mean, it was glorious. It was very interesting. I mean, it was awesome. You know. So the show, and let me get back to show. So I don't really have. I guess a balanced review should have pros and cons. I think I've just got all pros. I could think of a couple cons towards the ending, like season 3. Once I found out that the show wasn't getting renewed, I think I found that out after season 1. Whatever, it was very disheartening, but I still like the quality of the show still made me continue. Like I found it was so encapsulating, like so thrilling, like watching all these different bands of people link up, and I mean it kind of like I don't want to make the comparison, but I don't even know if it's true with like Game of Thrones. Like you got a certain person sent to this camp, and then a certain person, all these different like main characters sent all over the place. And next thing you know, one character like Tyrion goes to the wall to meet our other main character, Jon Snow, and it's like now we're following these two together in a story. That's what this reminded me of. There was so much of that. The cast is, I don't say enormous, but the cast is decently sized, and you follow in the beginning. You're only following a couple people, and then eventually you get involved with someone else important, and you're following them, and so on and so forth. And man, it was good. I really enjoyed it, even though there was no fourth season, which you could argue could be. I mean, where it was left off, I can imagine how it's gonna end. But a fourth season probably would have been the ending. I mean, AMC, come on, what are you doing? Like, why didn't you renew it? I mean, it was so good. So I guess we need to start, but the first season, you follow Sunny, who is this like not assassin, like a this yeah, I guess it's like the Lord's assassin or whatever. He's just killed a shoot ton of people, and then you follow. Then he saves a boy, and then you follow, and then you got the boy in the story. So you're following the boy, and you're following these two and their whole dynamic, and the boy finding out that he's in danger, so he runs to another place, and then you follow the person that the who he connects with, and it's just. But the story involves like this post-apocalyptic setting, kind of like Mad Max style. No, not quite that deserty. I guess not that post, but it's still, there's like we have, we reached the peak of civilization, and then we reverted back. Um, we reverted back to the time before electricity and guns and automobile. Well, no, wait, we still have automobiles, but we definitely took a step back. Like, technology is no longer. I mean, you can see, like, there's remnants of it, but it's just not prominent. And because it's like a madman, it would we don't have the technology to support the technology, I guess. But there's still, yeah, there's still vehicles and cars and stuff, but there's just like to own one of them, you got to be in a higher position. So that's kind of the world. I mean, it's just a cool world. I mean, it's a dog eat dog world, survival of the fittest. And if you can't, if you can't survive on your own, you 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 serve under somebody who can and who will protect you, but you do what they tell you to do. And that's the setting, the story. There is um like so you got the post-apocalyptic setting, and then there's like five rulers, barons, in that rule over everyone in the Badlands. Like the Badlands is just part of this continent. I guess it's a continent, part of, like, yeah, a part of this Badlands, a part of this continent, a section of it. And these five barons rule in this pretty much closed off section of the world of the world here. And so you got the feuding, the delicate balance between all these five barons, and the five barons are there, kind of like fought their way to that position of power. And I love the contrast between like a baron. Well, like, you got they still have like class systems. It seems you got your indentured servants, treat like, promised to be treated well, and they're living in downtrodden shacks, and just like horrible conditions. And then you got in this world, like after like this apocalyptic world, and then you still got barons who have silk clothes or silk dining cloths, and uh, everything you'd find in uh, everything you'd find in like a majesty, like just all the nice fineries they have, and I guess as a status symbol. But so our main assassin character, Sonny, is under a baron and does the baron's bidding, and you're following them. Them. I don't want to spoil anything too much. Yeah, I'm gonna try not to, but that's the overall story. Um, like I said, you meet friends along the way. You meet characters along the way. Characters die along the way. That was a big shock. Um, uh, so the setting, the characters, the character development. Um, Another one of my like favorite things. I just love a strong female character. Um, they don't always, definitely don't always get. Um, there's definitely that trope, the weak female character or something like that, and there's a Baron who is the widow, and she is, oh man, she is so ruthless and so awesome, and just kicks butt, like really does. But yeah, so that was like the very that I love that aspect of it. Just the but so spoilers. I'm going to talk about what I do like. That's spoiler territory, and what I unfortunately don't like, which is towards the end spoilers. But like I said, the ending didn't stop me from watching. Like after watching the third season, the very last episode, I still felt like I could rewatch this. Like the action, the story progression, everything really made it fun to watch, and that yeah, you do have to use some imagination on where the ending is, like where it's truly gonna end. After, I mean, it could have gone on for another like 8 seasons, I imagine. But the world, the acrobat, the martial arts, I guess, everything was just so well done. I can't believe AMC just can't believe they didn't continue it. Like, really, AMC, really? Maybe Amazon will, or yeah, Amazon Prime will pick it up like they did for The Expanse. That would be one only. They're too busy on their space race. But so spoilers, once again, spoilers. Um, I like our main character Sonny. His whole change from ruthless assassin to getting tattoos on, and getting tattoos on his back for each kill, to ultimately I don't know if he wants to get rid of him, but just kind of ashamed, like just knows that he's just like done, done with killing. Just wants to have a good life with his family. But his journey to get to that point, like becoming a slave in the mines where they met Badgie, like Nick Frost. Are you kidding me? What an unbelievable character. Now I just kind of want to go and watch anything with Nick Frost in it. I think that's his name, Nick Frost. Just with because he was just so. I mean, he was hysterical, and constantly annoying Sonny in the beginning, to Sonny finally listening to him in the end, and then just like in the beginning you're thinking like he's a putz. He's. I mean, come on, man. Like, what's he gonna do to like utterly kicking butt, martial arts? Doing that whole dun 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 dun. And completely getting rid of their powers. Like, yes, dude, Badger, you kick it? Are you kidding me? I was rooting for him, and I knew there was like a Deus Ex Machina moment when he died. Spoilers, jeez. I hope if you're watching ahead, you just you know I'm warning you that when he died, I couldn't believe it. And then, I, they're not gonna kill him. They can't kill Badgie. Like, whatever. I don't care about this like Deus Ex, this plot armor, because I mean I couldn't have that would be utter. I couldn't if they killed him. I would have been at a loss. But for him coming back alive with the witch thing or whatever, the witch sacrificing herself to save him. Okay, okay. I mean, Badgie did the same thing for he sacrificed his powers anyway, so whatever. But yeah, that whole like them becoming a slave, like him like being shackled up and trying to fight, not being able to, and that was just a really I always like those moments where it like really brings the character down to like not a human level, yeah, I mean, but not like just like a level lower than human, and then they can just from there, just the trials that they go through, and from there work their way back up. And so him meeting Badge, that was just a really fun. I mean, it was just a very good. I like that part of the story. Um, I don't know, MK, like kind of a whiny baby. I didn't really. I mean, he wasn't really anything to write home about. Like I liked the idea of him having the powers in the beginning, like not knowing how the powers are and trying to escape because everyone wants him for his powers. And then it's like season two, he goes to the monastery, which I love. The master, are you kidding me? Her and the widow, like another strong female character that just kicks butt and is wise, but also morally wrong in certain aspect. Like, are you kidding me? Oh, that was good. But like MK, just kind of like being a baby the whole time, whining. Like, are we there yet? Am I gonna learn my abilities yet? Like, dude, come on. She's explained that if you want to master it, it takes time, and then whatever, him running off. So spoilers, but him the third season, going like full evil, full not on our main character, our protagonist side anymore, and then like getting his just desserts. That was good. That was good. You know, I it's like I can live without a fourth story, but the fact that they put that moment in the third season, fine, great. I am thrilled. Like I was so happy to see him just after all this like corruption and everything. Now knowing this series, they probably would have brought him back. Maybe I don't know. They probably, who knows, but uh, like to see that happen, that whole following him and then him kind of not sure what to do second season, and then just full ham evil and the third season, and then finally just getting it is like, yeah, that was yes, that was awesome. So let's see. It really, if I'm trying to think of any cons I might have had. Um, I've just done nothing but list pros. So cons, obviously, that there is no fourth season. It got a, I mean, it got a little. I don't want to say convoluted. It just got a little far fetched that all of a sudden everyone started inheriting this Azra power. I wasn't a big fan of our our Sonny, our main assassin. I like the fact that he kind of achieved everything of his own will. I guess like of his own power, his human power, and the way they were going. I was like the third season. I didn't really care for that he was um, the catalyst or whatever. Like, I mean, I know they set it up, that he also that he had the compass. Where did that come from? Like, where the origin of that? Like, what's the deal? It just I don't know. I liked him being our human assassin. I didn't really like that he had powers. He I think fortunately they didn't give him like black eyes, which was nice. Or whatever the power is called, the Azra power or whatever. I'm glad they didn't give that to him. They did kind of like make him revive or come back to life from it or something. Um, Another thing is like, oh, the prophet, whatever the pilgrim. I guess he like is ready to kill Sonny, and then he I guess kills him, throws him out a window and expects him dead. Like I didn't believe that first. I mean, who's gonna like? Are you serious, Pilgrim? Like, are you really gonna believe that? Like, are you really think? Like, I don't. Are you trying to let him survive? Um, what are you doing, Like, okay, whatever. And then his getting that power and then going corrupt. Yeah, that was all right. That whole like the third season. I don't know. It just kind of got a little for this season. It just got a little fantastical. It kind of relied really heavily on the powers towards the end, which I kind of liked it in the beginning where it was just a lit like just you had this huge world and all these barons and these assassins and all these plots and wars and traps and all this stuff, and then you just had one little speck of just that was the power. Like the power was such a small little plot point. Everything else was human, and then it just progressed. Now you got a whole season. You know, you got a whole monastery. These Azra, the I don't even know they got the black eyes, that power, and you got that, and then you got this whole pilgrimage of with a pilgrim of this whole group of people who believe in Azra with, and then this one, and then them opening up the power of the that sacred power and becoming like super strong. I just they got a little third season was kind of too reliant on the power aspect in my opinion. I would have preferred if it just kind of like how I don't want to say Game of Thrones just kind of relied on, well, they got convoluted at the end, but just relied a little bit on just like just a little bit of power in this post-apocalyptic landscape, and then Azra, um, like Atlantis, it like a far off world that they're trying to get to, and they don't even know if it's real or not. And then and then you finding out the answer, and then him wanting to. I just that was cool. I enjoyed all that. I don't know. Yeah. So I mean, I don't know. I can kind of see how it kind of went down. In my opinion, kind of went downhill season three. But I was invested in the characters by then, and it was I liked it. Long story short, I liked it. So if yeah, I would rewatch it. Yep, give it a shot.